Hello again. Welcome back to another edition of 3 and 3, where I run down three major stories the mainstream forgot to tell you in 3 minutes if I can. Let's go. Houston, illegal alien arrested after stealing the identity of a Texas minor. Antonio de Jesus Moreno Escobar secured 7 jobs in 3 years with the falsified documents. An illegal alien has been arrested after stealing a Texas minority's identity, causing the minor to lose health care benefits. Attorney General Ken Paxton announced the arrest on Wednesday, saying that theft was first discovered after the victim's mother received notification that her son's Medicaid benefits were being discontinued due to fraudulent income being reported in his name. Antonio de Jesus Moreno Escobar allegedly purchased the falsified documents, which included a stolen Social Security card, a Texas ID card, and a forged green card for $120. Escobar used these documents to identify as a 13-year-old boy from Hutu. He secured 7 jobs over the span of 3 years in the Houston area by using the falsified documents. Quote, "This case is a disturbing example of how illegal aliens drain our resources, hurt innocent Texans, and even deprive children of vital health care," said Paxton. "My office will ensure that illegal aliens who exploit our system and target our families face the full force of the law." Escobar is being held at the Williamson County Jail on a detainer from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. An ICE spokesman told Texas Scorecard that if Escobar is released from custody or after his criminal proceedings conclude, he will be transferred to ICE for immigration proceedings. A similar case involving an illegal alien from Colombia was prosecuted by U.S. Attorney's Office, Southern District of Texas in May. The accused thief was arrested after having received Social Security and Medicaid benefits since 2016. Charges brought against this individual included theft of government funds and aggravated identity theft. That's just two. I wonder how many more there are. 2 million, 200 million. Justice Department announces indictment of former Newsom chief of staff over corruption allegations. Williamson, who was who was indicted by a federal grand jury last week on 23 charges, serves as Newsom's top aide from 2022 through the end of 2024. Williamson has also worked as a political consultant. The Justice Department on Wednesday announced California Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom's former chief of staff, Dana Williamson, has been indicted and accused of corruption and conspiring to defraud the United States. Williamson, who was indicted by a federal grand jury last week on 23 charges, served as Newsom's top aide from 22 through 24, also worked as a political consultant. As attorney Eric Grant confirmed the indictment and said the former chief of staff has been charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and obstruct justice, subscribing to false tax returns, and making false statements. This is a crucial step in an ongoing political corruption investigation that began more than 3 years ago, Grant said. As it always has, the U.S. Attorney Office will continue to work tirelessly with our law enforcement partners to protect the people of California from political corruption. Federal prosecutors accused Williamson of conspiring with others to divert approximately $225,000 in funds from a dormant political campaign to an associate from February 22 through September 2024. Wonder who that associate is. Williamson has also been accused of submitting false tax returns, claiming more than $1 million in business deductions for ineligible personal expenses such as private jet, travel, luxury, hotel stay, and home furnishings. I could have done this report about Jasmine Crockett too. She also allegedly lied to federal investigators when questioned about the alleged crimes. If convicted, Mrs. Williams faces up to decades in prison and over $1 million in fines. Third story, Clinton corruption files. You probably heard the Epstein-Trump version of this week, so here's the other version you might not have heard. Bondi Patel unleashed new evidence about former First Family Foundation. Officials say evidence sent to Congress face fresh concerns that government officials kept evidence from prosecutors. Produced to Congress a new cache of documents showing how Bill and Hillary Clinton Foundation collected donations from foreign and domestic interests seeking influence, raising fresh concerns that such evidence was kept from federal prosecutors who tried to investigate pay-to-play allegations against the former First family a decade ago. Officials told Just the News that the documents were transmitted to the Senate Judiciary Committee in recent days and detailed numerous instances of foreign and even a U.S. defense contractor seeking to curry favor with the Clintons through donations to their family charity, including when Hillary Clinton served as Secretary of State. Bill Clinton was the U.S. president from 93 to 2001. The officials said some of the evidence was flagged by whistleblowers who claimed such evidence was kept from a corruption investigation that was being conducted in 2015 by the Little Rock, Arkansas U.S. Attorney's Office before it was shut down by the Obama administration's Justice Department. The documents will make clear that there was an effort to obstruct legitimate inquiries into the foundation by blocking real investigation by line-level FBI agents and DOJ field prosecutors and keeping them from following the money, said one official directly familiar with the document. Officials said they have been gathering the evidence for weeks and have dubbed the documents the Clinton Corruption Files. Nicely named. Bondi and Patel hope to make the documents public by as soon as the end of this week, once they work through some issues protecting whistleblowers' identities, officials said, of course. Officials said they also expect new evidence to be released this week in the Arctic Frost investigation conducted by Jack Smith, including new contacts between the special prosecutors who pursued Donald Trump and top officials like former FBI Director Christopher Wray, and new details on how that probe sought to pierce the privacy of members of Congress by gathering their phone records. The Clinton Foundation did not respond to requests for comments. Just the News reported earlier this week that the FBI had 3 separate investigations into possible pay-to-play allegations against Clinton Foundations, but all were closed after Obama Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates ordered agents to shut it down, quote unquote. Officials said that the new documents will detail how lower-level FBI agents and prosecutors kept information from reaching decision makers in the various probes of the Clinton Foundation. And here's a public service announcement from friend of the show, Dr. Robert Malone, episode 323, like 3 in 3, only 323. So as we enter cold and flu season, the good doctor says, what vitamin D and associate supplements do you take? Having laid this all out, there's a question that I get asked again and again. This is, Dr. Malone, what vitamin D and associated supplements do you take? So below isn't my entire list of supplements, but it's the list of vitamins A, D, K, magnesium, and zinc with dosing that Jill and I take daily. But not just any old D, he says. A recent study found a link between reduced mortality and vitamin D deficiency. The study authors examined 307,000 records from the UK Biobank over a 14-year follow-up period. They discovered that higher vitamin D levels, up to 50 ng per ml, were associated with a significantly reduced risk of death. Furthermore, vitamin D deficiency has also been linked to brain aging. Approximately 42% of the US population is considered vitamin D deficient. Are you one of the 40%? To conclude, many of the US government's recommended daily allowances are based on outdated historical data extracted from studies conducted 75 years or more ago. Vitamin D3 is one such example, but there are many more. So the people who need vitamin D3 the most, those who have vitamin D deficiency, osteoporosis or osteopenia, have malabsorption syndromes, or have chronic kidney disease, are getting a bolus of an inferior product. Near as I can tell, the reason why they are getting an inferior product is 1, it has been historically given, and 2, it is marginally less expensive to make. That's it for this week on November 14th. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and pass it around. See you next time on The Full Show and 3 and 3 on Friday.